Hola, this is Sabacc, a Mandalorian card game. I will show you how to do it. So, before we begin, let's shuffle the deck, discard one card, and deal to one player. Discard another card, deal to the other player, and have a look. So, right now, none of us have good hands, but before we deal with our hands at all, let's go ahead and ante. So we ante by putting one in each pot. Then we'll have a look at our cards. So we have a +3 and a +5, and these are both of kata. So we do have an 8. An 8 is bust. Anything over 6 is bust, except for the number 23 exactly. So, but because we have the same suit, then we are not in bust, because whenever you have the same suit, it's called an elite, a family, or a clan. And when you have elite, it protects you in the dead zone between 6 and 23. Now this other player has a 4 and a 1, so they have 5, so they are not in bust, but they don't have a very particularly good hand. So let's go ahead and have a look-see. Things we can do. We can draw from the deck. We can discard a card. We can exchange with the deck by putting our card at the bottom and driving to the top, or we can buy the card that's in the discard pile. In this case, let's go ahead and draw from the deck for free. That was not beneficial to us, because now we have 11, but we're no longer safe in the dead zone because we have not matched suits. So this player will go ahead and draw as well, getting a 5, which is exactly what it needed. So this player now has a Sabacc. It is not a special Sabacc because doesn't have, if it had just 2 5s, a 5 and a -5, that would be a Tat Sabacc, a twin Sabacc, but that's not what it has. So it just has regular Nas Sabacc, 0 Sabacc. Then we roll the dice. No shift, so we'll keep going. I'm going to trade my dagger of 3s and get a 6, -6. And it's a kata, which means it's in the same suit. So we have 8 -6. We have a total of 2 now, which isn't a great hand, but at least it's it's an elite. So as long as the enemy doesn't have Sabacc, which they do, then we would beat them. Fortunately for us, they have Sabacc. So this player will stand, and let's roll the dice. And it's a shift. So we each had 3 cards, so we'll each get 3 cards back from the shift. One, 2, 3. Solus N. Alright. So I have a Dikut, -6, +2, and I can see that there's a +6 right on the board there in the discard pile, so I am going to buy that as soon as possible. And this player has 2 +5s and a -4, so they have a 6, which is not bust, so it's also the worst hand they could have that isn't a bust. So they'll probably want to trade with the deck, or they could actually buy this card and then discard these 2 cards, and then they have a 4 and a 4 matched suits. But before we can do that, we roll. No shift. Okay. Then I would discard this card. And now we have something that is known as a dikutat. A dikutat is a dikut and a pair of opposite cards. So in this case, a 6 and a -6. If this 6 was also a sword, or rather a dagger, either one, then no, rather, if it was a sword, then it would count as a diku alitat, which would be even better than this hand. But that's not what we have. So over here, this player is going to slowly start whittling away by discarding the unnecessary cards. Then we roll. Okay, no shift. I'm going to stand, but I am going to raise the bet. And this player is going to discard. And now this player probably thinks they have a pretty good hand, but they don't know that I have the dikut. If I didn't have the dikut, I just had the 6s, they would beat me because they have a pair of 4s that are matching, which would, even if they weren't matching, they would beat the pair of 6s. But fortunately for them, we have the dikut. So like I said, we have a dikutat, and they have an alitat sabacc. And calling the hand, the dikutat beats the alitat sabacc. And because it's a sabacc, we win both pots. Now let's play again. And hopefully we'll get a deity card to show those interactions. Nope. Okay. So first we ante. And then we'll have a look at our cards. So I know that there is a 5 of hearts under here that I would want, but I don't want to buy this 2 of swords. So instead I will draw and hopefully get a -1. Okay, not what I got. Okay, this player, I'm hoping for a +1. Not what I got. Okay, so let's roll. No shift. Best chance for me right now is to go ahead and trade with the deck. And I got another 6. Let's go ahead and trade with this deck as well. Okay. Now we've got a total of +2, and this total is, let's see, 11 -4. Okay, so it's 7 right now, which isn't good. Is a bust. Can't remember if I just rolled or not. So because I cannot remember, we're gonna roll again. Okay, just no shift. I'm going to trade this 6 again, hoping for a -1. Okay, not what I got. Let's trade this 3 once more. And there we go. He got what he wanted. Now we have another dikutat. This player has -4 + 5. We have -3. That's rather -8 + 5 is a -3. Can't remember if I rolled the dice, so we're rolling them again. It's late here. It's like 3 in the morning. So no shift. I want to trade one more time, and hopefully I get what I want, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted this 1 this whole time. So now I have -4, -1, so a total of -5. +5 is 0. Now, it would have been nice if this was a carta, heart, but it's not. So we don't get the benefits of it being an elite, but we don't know that they have a dikutat. So now that we have this, we're ready to call the hand, and most likely this player will call the hand because they have nothing else to do. And we won't fold because we have a pretty decent chance of winning over anyone who doesn't have a sabacc. But unfortunately for us, they have a dikut and a dikutat, so they win. Let's play one more game. Okay. So now I'm wanting a +1 here, and I'm wanting a +2 here, or I want to replace one of these cards. But first, we have to ante. Right. So let's go ahead and actually trade this card. Okay. That card could have been useful over here. Let's trade this card. Right. So then we roll. No shift. We have 4 -2, and they have 2 +2. So right now we are winning, but we wouldn't know that, obviously. Let's go for a draw. A 6. -6. Not the best draw. Let's hope for a 4. Oh, a mythosaur. Okay. So a mythosaur is a -10, and if we reveal the hand, we can kill a card, and it becomes a -20, which wouldn't help us unless we had that card right there. So that'll be our next thing we want to do. So let us trade one more time. There we go, perfect. And now this player is going to purchase this card. We're going to roll. No shift. Going to discard. Now we have a Alitat Sabacc. That's a elite that is the same matching suits, and is a tat, which means matching opposites. And yeah, so that's a pretty good hand, and it's 2s, which is the second best Alitat you can have. If it was 1s, it'd be better. In this case, we're going to discard this card, and then we're ready to roll. There's going to be one more roll before someone calls the hand, and it's a shift. Now, if there hasn't been a shift, then what would happen with this right now? This is -10 +3 -2, but what we could do is if there wasn't a shift here, and we called the hand, we could use the mythosaur to kill this card, put it in the discard pile, and now it's worth -20. And then 20 -3, sorry, -20 -3 is -23, which is a sabacc. A special kind of sabacc which beats a 0 sabacc. So this hand would beat this hand. But unfortunately for both of us, we rolled a shift. So we'll put all of our cards away. I had 2 cards, he had 3. Two, 1, 2. Now we have Haa'runi. Now, what I'm going to do is discard card, which by doing so, I can force the other player to discard their cards. And I have to discard their cards without knowing which is which, so I'm just going to shuffle those and then pick one. So I discard one of their cards. And you can do that for each player at the table. And I could make something with COD, but it's very difficult because it's a +12. And then we roll. Actually, no, we don't roll yet because this player hadn't had a turn. They have a -4. Let's go ahead and draw. They have a -6. And then we roll, and we roll another shift, but that doesn't count because we hadn't done their turn yet. Okay. So now we have me with 1. I could win with just a 1. Let's see. They have a -6. There is a possibility that I win with just a 1. Now let's try it. Let's go for it. This player is going to trade their card here. Hopefully we get a +3. Nope, we got a -6. Not good for them because now they are in bust. No shift. Okay. Yeah, let's stand. And let's give this player a chance to get out of bust. Let's trade with the deck. Okay, there we go. Now they have -3 rather, +5. So they have a total of 2, and we have a total of -1. So we're still winning. We'll roll the dice one more time, but then we're going to call the hand. And it's a shift. What do you know? So I had 1 card, they had 3. Okay. So they have a +3, a +4, and a Haa'runi. Haa'runi can be 0, it can be 12, or it can be -12. When it's in your hand, you have to roll it like an imposter card in Sabacc. If it's frozen on the table, then you can choose. And this player has a 3. Let's hope we draw a -3. What do you know? We happen to draw a -3. So now we have Sabacc. Let's see here. This is. If this had been a 2 instead of a 3, we could just draw this 6 and have a good hand, but we do not. So let's go ahead and trade this card. Okay. So this is hold. If we use hold as a -12, then we would do -12 +5 is a -7. However, because it's all stars, the deity cards count as stars. We would not bust, but we wouldn't win either. Another thing that's special about Haa'runi is it's immune from the Sabacc shift when it's in your hand, and it's unimmune from Sabacc shift when it's frozen, kind of like the opposite of every other card, which you will see right now, because we got another Sabacc shift. Okay, we got a Mythosaur and a 4 and they have a -3 and a -6. Let's go ahead and trade with the deck. And over here, let's trade with the deck. Okay. Roll again. And it's another shift. What do you know? Those can be pretty annoying, but that is the game. Old Sabacc. Okay. So now you have two deity cards in this hand, Kad Harangir and Hod Haran. Now, whenever you have Kad Harangir in your hand and Hod Haran's value becomes -12. So now if we played this hand, we would have we'd have a -2 because these two cancel each other out. So our next hand, we want to get rid of this card. And in this case, we're going to buy this card, and we can't discard this round. We have to wait another round. But this round, they can discard that. And we'll roll. No shift. Thank God. Thank God. We're going to discard this card. Now we have a Tat Sabacc of 3s, which will not beat this hand, but we don't know that. So they're going to call the hand. Actually, before they call the hand, they're going to raise because they have a pretty darn good hand. And I don't know that they have two deity cards, so I'll go ahead and raise with them. So we reveal the hands, and there you go. Normally, if we didn't have Cod, then you'd have to roll the dice for hold, unless you froze him. But because Cod is there, he's automatically a -12. So we have +12, -12, 0 beats this. Yeah, they would win both pots. I'd say that's enough for now. I hope you enjoyed and hope you learned something. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the Steam comments, or you can DM me on Discord. Retour chez me.